Fact: Guyana is well known for its fresh produce, fruits, vegetables, meat, or seafood. The freshness is guaranteed.
The magic of Guyana's talented people, beautiful places, and spectacular events will steal your heart on this week's show. I am Lorene Ward. Welcome to Homestretch Magazine, showcasing a promotional video, an evening of jazz and soul, coconut crafts, Vanda's design, and personality of the week. Ariane Richmond represented Guyana in the 14th Miss Caribbean Culture Queen pageant in St. Kitts. She was first runner-up, Miss Congeniality, most photogenic, and won Best Promotional Video.
Guyana is a land of many opportunities. Our diversity ranges from our people to our delicacies. I welcome you to our slice of paradise. As fresh as the black water that flows and as vibrant as our laughter that erupts from our lingo. Come with me, Ariane Dahlia Richmond, Guyana's representative to the Miss Caribbean Culture Queen Pageant 2019, as I take you on a true Guyanese journey as we delve deep into our culture, filled with endless knowledge in the presence of serene beauty. Culturally Caribbean but geographically South American, Guyana recently became the world's greatest interest. Ironically, the land of many waters, now known as the land of oil. Guyana, the home of giants, with rivers that flow through a vast expanse of species that range from flora to fauna. Our people give life to our festivities. From Ashramani to Carnival to ethnic celebrations like Eid, Emancipation, and the Festival of Colors, Pagua. As the Guyanese beauty who represents 6 peoples, churned in a melting pot from hospitality, love, and unity. I am the ambassador of one people, one nation, one destiny. I am Ariane Dahlia Richmond, Miss Guyana, inviting you to Miss Caribbean Culture on my sisterland, Nevis. Come see me on August 3rd and 5th as I represent for 6.
It's the first time Guyana has placed in the top 5 and positions. Congratulations, Dahlia. Next, Verbal Art by Vanda's Design, a picture of unique indigenous fashion.
Emerging as a fashion designer out of the village of Saramo in the North Rupununi is Vanda Alicock, a thriving young entrepreneur with a penchant for art. This Makushi beauty prides herself in her culture, which she says is the inspiration behind the birth of Vanda's Designs, an indigenous fashion line of clothing she calls wearable art. Vanda ventured into the world of designing out of a need to help her nephew realize his dream, which ultimately became hers as well.
Well, how I really got into designing, my sister died. And her son, her eldest son, he was still, he had just finished school, but he needed an income, and it started as a joke. Because he's very good at painting, that's Nigel Butler. And I asked him if he, it was in thought because he's very good at painting. I asked him if he could do some painting on shirts for me, and I'll sell them so that he can get an income. So we bought some shirts that was at Giftland when Giftland was on Watt Street, and he painted all the shirts, and my father was our first customer, and he bought all the shirts and as gifts for his friends.
Pieces of wearable art cater to men, women, and children, and have been supported by Minister Sidney Alicock, who also happens to be her father and loyal supporter of Vanda's Designs. In 2016, Vanda's designs was showcased at the Guyana Fashion Weekend, which became the hallmark of its exposure and has since taken the runway in many other events. Vanda says the positive feedback from patrons and their appreciation for indigenous fashion has been most satisfying to her.
I've gotten a lot of positive feedbacks then. So to grow, to expand, so we come up with different ideas, and so it's something positive.
Vanda's Designs, a one-of-a-kind promoting indigenous culture through fashion in Guyana. Coconut, one of the most versatile fruits you will find. From the coconut palm to the dried shell, the uses are endless.
My name is Calissa Bradford, and I'm the owner of Cammy's Craft Creations. I've just recently graduated from University of the Southern Caribbean, so now I've started the business kind of like 2017, but it was just part-time until I finished university.
Of all the things you could do with coconuts, this young lady makes jewelry with the dried shell. The idea came to her one day when she was throwing away shells she uses to make coconut oil for her hair and skin.
So I wanted something to occupy my time. I was looking around to see, I usually do craft stuff from other recycled materials, but I wanted something that could start a business eventually, so that's how I got into the coconut shell in the first place. I never knew that I could have done these things before, so I just started to practice, and I guess I keep practicing, and that's how they became better.
Calissa combined this with her love of Marvel and other comics to make spectacular pieces the younger population would enjoy.
Well, I wanted to see what will attract mostly young people, and I know that the Marvel and the DC are very popular, so I went into the popular branch with Marvel. I get the Punisher, I have the Shield, and for DC I have Superman, Batman, the Flash, anything I could make from the coconut shell.
Let's get into the process.
So we pick the coconut, then we burst it in half. We grate the inside out, leave it to dry a bit so it's easier to clean. And then we take the knife and we take out this stuff inside. So we just scrape off the excess so that the pencil marking can be seen. We're gonna trace the actual template on here. So the next step, we're gonna cut the coconut shell using the scroll saw. Now we're gonna start using the files to get an even cleaner cut. So now we're gonna sand the surface and the behind here. Soak it in the water to make it easier.
After all the drilling, sanding, and carving, a masterpiece.
All my pieces are just when I finish making them, they're great accomplishments. So I don't really have a favorite, but each one I see as an accomplishment because I didn't really know that I could have made these. So whenever somebody sent me a design and I got to make it and I finish without it breaking, yeah, that's the favorite part.
For those who love comics and coconuts, check out Kami's Creations. Let's meet our personality of the week, a successful designer, mother and wife, well known in and out of Guyana. Colfax, a well-known fashion company combining innovation in style with professional concepts to reflect the direction of its foundation. Let's meet the international designer and corporative executive of Colfax brand.
My name is Michelle Cole-Wagner, fashion designer, wedding planner, CEO of Colfax, Colfax Wedding, mother of 3, wife, entrepreneur, businesswoman.
By using her unique creative ability, she has developed herself a brand and international trademark.
The first show that I was doing prior to 2000, I think, I worked as Michelle Cole, but I was preparing to do a Caribbean export for the first time in Barbados. And it was Michelle Cole's signature all along. And I wanted to create a ready-to-wear line. And I wanted to create it, for the affordable everyday woman, something that you can buy off the rack. Hence the birth of Colfax. For me, it's making sure that, be it man or woman, if it's a shirt or a dress that I designed for you, that when you step through the door, that you feel confident. So my intention is to lift everyone off the wall and no wallflowers. When you walk into a room, people must know that you're here if you're wearing a Colfax piece.
Michelle started making uniforms for her school friends at age 12 and made a living from her creations by 15. Today, she is well established with her clothing sold in some of the best boutiques in the Caribbean and the United States.
For me as a fashion designer, starting out in Guyana, the challenge was basically, there was no designer to look up to because came from Guyana. So, often people say, yeah, you want to be dying in Guyana, you're not going to make no money, you're not going to eat, but over the years I would say that consistency and persistence, knowing what you want, and creating a roadmap to achieving your goals has been important for me.
This mother of 3 gained recognition for the stunning pieces she created for beauty queens.
It started, I would say, in 2000 was the first winning best designer gown that I did, and it was Marvina Sobers. I think that gown was called Red and Red. I will never forget it. And I think that's when everyone acknowledged and respected me as a fashion designer in Guyana. At the time I was young, starting out. I mean, I was designing for many years because I've been doing this since I was a teenager. But I think that time is when everyone acknowledged and understood that, yeah, Michelle Cole is good at what she does.
She acquired vast knowledge of various cultures and lifestyles from traveling and participating in workshops and exhibitions worldwide. In 2019, she was one of the organizers and designers of Guyana's first fashion showcase.
I showcased for the first time in Guyana my bridal collection, which is Colfax Weddings. So Colfax Wedding is another mutation from Michelle Cole's signature to Colfax Weddings. So there are 3 lines under that I work with. So Colfax Weddings is, we don't just do bridal gowns, it's from wedding planning to decor to the bridal gown and making sure that your day is exciting and splendid and as you dreamt it.
The New York-based Guyanese has over a decade of experience in wedding planning. Her resume of successful events has made her one of New York City's respected event planners.
So I've been doing bridal gowns for a number of years. Um, and, sometimes a bride would come to me, and it started off from helping a bride. Oh my God, I'm flustered, I need help, and or the plan that they had might not be working. So it started off with me volunteering to do this. And I guess because I'm a little, sometimes OCD when I'm working on something, I want it exactly how I want it to be. So it started from there. So if I'm doing the gong, I will then talk to the bride about how she presents it, and that's where it started from. And then I will help her with her bridesmaid. I'll help her organize. And one thing, then I was doing it voluntarily at first. And then eventually it became a part of my brand.
As Caribbean Designer of the Year and Young Gifted and Black Designer of the Year recipient, here's how she manages being a successful entrepreneur, responsible mother, and loving wife.
A big part of it is planning your day. Every day I get up at 5:30. My kids are in a charter school, so they have to be at school at 7:10 in the morning. And the drive to school is an hour away, 40 minutes to an hour. So my day starts at 5:30, get them ready, out the door at 6:20. They're in school for 7:10, and then I have the day. My daughter plays soccer. Sapphire is also in the step team. And my son is in the debate and basketball team. So they have not just school, but they have a lot of extracurricular activities that happen after school. So my pickup time sometime in the afternoon is a little later. So when I drop them off at 7:10, then I have all day to design and work and be a wife and mother and all the other things.
Michelle Cole Wagner, a trendsetter in creative fashion, making statements of elegance and class that is simply irresistible. Michelle Cole Wagner continues to shape and market her brand worldwide. Such a gifted hand. If you're a lover of jazz and soul, enjoy this final feature.
There is nothing more relaxing than sitting with friends and loved ones, enjoying the sound of cool jazz. Patrons were recently treated to an evening of jazz and soul at the Guyana.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. Well, I guess you'd say what can make me feel this way. My girl, talking about my girl. I've got so much honey, the bees envy me. I've got a sweeter song that I can sing, baby, better than the birds in the trees.
The event was organized by Signal Productions. The many local artists kept the audience, which included the Prime Minister, Moses Nagamutu, and his wife, entertained. The musicians gave a grand performance that left everyone wanting more. The first Jazz and Soul concert was organized in 2012, and since then, it has only gotten bigger. The 7th annual Jazz and Soul concert was indeed a blast, and next year will surely be no different.
Lovely melodies played from the heart can certainly unite us all. Goodbye until we meet again. Do remember to like our Homestretch Magazine Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I am Lorene Ward. Be safe, keep smiling, and stay positive.